The CCIM4C initiative stands for Community Collective Impact Model for Change. And that's really important that we start with the communities, because that's exactly what this initiative was all about. We want to put the communities first as a leader in the work. And so what we heard from the communities when we were putting together the Ohio Prevention Conference for 2023 was that they wanted their community members to have a voice, to tell the world what this initiative was like from the voices of the people who experienced it. And so the following videos are interviews that we held with community members from each of our 5 urban counties in Ohio, telling us what the initiative meant for them.
Well, I think what it did is really bring our community together. We have a lot of grassroots coalitions and community organizations in Lorain County, and we were working on social determinants of health, but we were doing it separate. So it actually brought us together under one objective and goal and plan, and I think that really is a great thing. It aligned. We're able to align all of our plans together into one. So that's the biggest thing I think we accomplished with the project.
Cómo el proyecto ha impactado nuestra comunidad. El proyecto ha impactado la comunidad de manera buena, ya que nos hemos unido todos, tratando de romper las barreras que hay en nuestra comunidad y tratar de llegar a la necesidad de las personas para poder dejarles saber que estamos ahí, no importando lo que estén pasando, sino tratando de ayudarles a tratar de comenzar. Estamos en nuestra comunidad tratando de ayudar a nuestra comunidad, uniéndonos todos, tumbando las barreras que hay, no importando los idiomas, no importando las cosas que estén pasando, sino dejándoles saber que hay ayuda para cada uno de ustedes en esta oportunidad que nos ha dado. Estamos demostrándole que hay ayuda, hay recursos en nuestra comunidad que pueden ser muy beneficiosos para todos ustedes.
This project impacted our community because it created those conversations. Our target population was Black and Latino males, so there were a lot of people who did not want to talk about the barriers that they go through in life. So this project really helped create that and open that conversation to what they go through and how are we able to fix it.
The CCIM for Change project impacted our community because it helped our Spanish-speaking population receive more access to care in ways of translating some of our materials into Spanish so that they could easily get access to some of our providers who were providing mental health and addiction services. Most notably, our Jetera bags, which are medication disposal bags, were translated from English to Spanish so that folks could get rid of medication that they had lying around in their house safely.
Finding out how many homeless people there are, the homeless population in Youngstown, Ohio is bigger than what I thought it was. There are a lot of single mothers and their children in the rescue mission living on the streets, so that was the biggest lesson I learned.
The greatest lesson learned was that, when ouch moments happen, because it was a point where organizations didn't want to come together. And so what I realized is that when that ouch moment happens, you really have to think outside of the box and know that you can get through it and that this work is hard, but you just have to push through it. And that's what we did. And look, we have over 9 agencies that have agreed to align and work together. It's great.
I just learned how many people actually care, to see this huge community of people here. We're all here for, similar reasons, and it's just heartwarming, to know that there are people that need help. Sometimes when you do this type of work, it kind of can be overwhelming, you see how much need there really is out there. But it's also kind of uplifting just to see that there's this many people here that care,
The CCIM impacts my community, giving us an opportunity and tools to work with to help and take away the stigma of mental health. It gives us an opportunity to be out and be resourced and to be educating our community. The project helps me be a resource, and it's a good tool to help take away the stigma for mental health. It helps us to be resources, to be able to go out and offer our community better help and take that stigma away, to say it's okay if you have a mental health problem, just get some help.
To me, the most important thing about collective impact was the realization that coming together would be the key to addressing our community's needs and bridging the gap. The summit to me was really important because of a lot of people realized that we need to come together and we need to take the necessary steps.
The greatest lesson learned was to not be afraid to ask people for help. In our community, we had a work group, and there were people from all over Hamilton County that did different things, but all wanted the same goal. And that was one of the problems, was everyone was doing their own thing, but no one was coming together as a whole and working together. So not be afraid to ask for help and ask for guidance and ask those resources to help you create that end goal. I'm gonna go cliche and say don't give up on it. There are many times where you struggle, where you feel like you just kind of hit a brick wall, there's nothing happening. But like I said earlier, do not be afraid to reach out to people and see what they think and their point of view and their resources and their perspective. In our work group, we went out and did some focus groups. We also did interviews with people from Black and Latino males in Hamilton County. And that really helped us see their point of view and what they have gone through and what they think that we should do to make a difference. So don't be afraid to go in that community and see what they want, rather than kind of you forcing and saying like, let's just do this, hear their voices and hear what they want and go from there. And just don't give up and lean on your partners for support as well.
I would just tell them to come join the cause. I mean, there's not like a lot of barriers to get into this type of work. As I said, there's always need. So just find what you're passionate about, what issues you want to address, and there's always going to be somewhere, looking to hire, or maybe they're not hiring, but you could start off volunteering and just kind of working your way in that way,
¿Qué palabra de ayuda le puede dar a una persona que está haciendo en el programa? Yo le diría que uniéndonos para poder tumbar toda barrera, las personas necesitan entender que el problema de salud mental no es algo de que tengamos que sentirnos mal, sino que hay ayuda para poder mejorar y que hay recursos para poder alcanzar y poder ser mejor en nuestra vida y en nuestro caminar, en nuestra familia.
Continue to do it. It's worth it in the long run. It might seem like it's very hard or people don't understand where you're coming from, but when you can bring together the voices in the community to see the importance of aligning together and doing the work together, that just makes the community better. It braids funding, it braids resources, and the best resource is human resource. So I think that's just beneficial for everyone involved.
I am grateful to be a part of this and given the chance to be able to help my community the way you guys are, helping us and coming together. And I am really, really honored to be a part of this.
I think communities really need to look at working with underserved populations because if we really meet the needs of underserved populations, we're meeting the needs of the entire community. So do that work. It's important.
I think I just want to add that our community really came together and all saw the need and continue to see the need for Spanish-speaking materials and to break down that language barrier that we really do have in Butler County, Ohio.
For Black and Latino males, Hamilton County is their home, and in your home you want to be able to feel safe, you want to be able to feel like you can go anywhere and ask any questions and be open to resources. That was one of the problems because they didn't feel like they could go to those resources and get help, whether that's mental health wise or whether it's even going to the grocery store. You know, there are a lot of grocery stores in their areas that they cannot afford, so they have to take transportation to grocery stores they can afford, but they don't have any way to get there because they might not have bus passes. So just we're trying to push the agenda of creating an open space and equal space for them to help live life as fully as they can.
So for my role as a supporter of these communities in this work, the words of encouragement that I would give someone else would be to listen. Because it is the community voices that help guide the initiative. And listening to the community will help you know what will work and what's sustainable in the long run.